It is crazy windy today. What is going on, you guys? Welcome back to the channel. It has been about 5 or 6 days now that I've been cleaning my garage, and we're almost done. Almost done, because there's still a few more things that I want to do, clean and throw away, but for the most part I can kind of finally get back to working on my cars. Now, before I actually started cleaning my garage out, I did have a layout on how I wanted to organize things, right? But then when I started getting into the doing, my brain was kind of fighting each other. Now, when I was shuffling things around, my brain was kind of fighting with like things to keep, things to throw away, things to move around. And you know, after we got closer and closer to finalizing the layout of the garage, I then realized that, you know, some of the stuff that I decided to keep, it's kind of preventing the space for some of the new stuff that I want to bring in. Don't get me wrong, some of those stuff I still want to buy, but I will take you guys in a little stroll in my garage real quick, kind of explain some of the things you guys are going to be seeing here in a moment. But I am overall pretty happy with the layout, because I will say there is a ton more space, and if I move some of this stuff out of the way, I can put a car in here. So I'm gonna go ahead and grab my flashlight, because some area of the garage is dark, but hopefully you guys can kind of see a little bit here. My light is kind of blocked by the garage itself, but guys, check this out. Check this out. Look at all this space right here. Okay, so I'm gonna stand in the back, show you guys what the garage is looking like. I didn't really touch too much of this side, you know, other than the chair. It's pretty flat, right? But I'm leaving the chair there because I do use it. And if you guys look, there's literally a whole entire space for a car. Now, let's go ahead and start with the back side. I know a lot of you guys been capping me about having this squat rack right here, right? It's a full weight station. There's a bench, you can do decline, inclines, there's curl bar, there's dumbbells and all that stuff. I didn't use this a lot when I was shredding a lot of weight and gaining muscles, and this was like my earlier years where I was actually shredded at one point. You guys probably don't notice if you guys don't follow me on Instagram, but I was shredded at one point, dislocated my shoulder 3 times now doing military, and I don't know, I just don't learn my lesson, and I kind of just fell out of it. And honestly, in part of 2025, and you know, this is not no new year resolution, new me type deal, but like, this is for the sake of my health. I want to start getting into better fitness. So I decided to leave this rack here because, one, my brother uses it. You guys probably don't see that, but my uncle also uses it too. So when he comes here, he uses this weight station, and most of the stuff he actually brought it over. And when my brother was into like CrossFit, he got these rubberized ones. So they do use it, they just haven't in a minute, but I don't want to get rid of it because I feel like I'm going to start using this again real soon. But I ended up shuffling this rack around. You guys might have noticed it used to sit against the wall that way, but because my layout is to have an aisle, my layout was to bring this giant rack, because we actually had space to position this the other way, because this small rack was, you know, obviously not as wide as this one. I think this is like 6 feet wide, the one in the back there, and you have enough space for the big bar, the 50-pound bar, right? So because I wanted that aisle and to be able to still retain this, I ended up flipping it this way. And if I really wanted to, which I'm not saying that I'm going to put a car in here, I'm more so saying that if I wanted to not work in the cold, I can push the car halfway in and work on it right here, but not necessarily keep a car in the garage. So if I was to move this bar, like stand it upright, I could technically put a car in here, right? So I left this here because, again, I wanted to utilize it. So I flipped it this way to still be able to use it as a bench rack, right? So the weight station, I shifted it this way along with the carpet. The carpet was also positioned this way. I shifted it over to kind of, you know, kind of keep it within that little square for working out in general. So this also cleared up the space for the aisle over there. I'll show you guys, but I also cleared out all the stuff that was here. I had a bin that was here, had my carbon fiber trunk that was sitting here, and there was really no walkway. Now there's a walkway. So even if a car came all the way to about right here, there's still a walkway. Other than the shop vac, there's still a walkway with both the mini bikes right here on the side. I know you guys been asking about this. My brother, we were all used to into this a lot. We still got a couple of them, but my brother has been building more bikes than anything. So these, they all run. They just, you know, whenever summer, whenever we feel like, you know, we want to mob, it's there to use. But the aisle to pretty much my shelving back here, it's kind of dark back here, but This right here, the shelving, I didn't really touch much back here as well too. This is like the stuff I don't use often, more so a storage area, like extra turbos, corner lights, adapters, extra manifolds, extra valve covers, wastegate, cams. Like, I don't touch this rack often. Look at that assortment of intercoolers. Just, you know, it's like an inventory rack. But anyways, this right here is my old I guess clothes dresser. You guys can see my name on it, but in here is pretty much all my aluminum pipings. Right, I don't think I really shown you guys too much, but there's a bunch of new pipings in there. This one is like a lot of my paint, sandpaper, bodywork stuff. The bottom over there is a lot of like hood bras and mud flaps and stuff I've been collecting over the years. Like, I even have them just kind of hanging around right there. But anyways, I don't really touch this backside too often, but to have a walkway is nice, just in case I do need to get to a lot of that stuff. Inside that cabinet has like all my paintball gears, my buffing material, compounds, more paint equipment on the top. But, you know, having a walkway is nice instead of having to like kind of snake around all the stuff that was piled here that wasn't doing anything for so many years. So I finally got rid of it and moved a lot of it out, aside from the carbon trunk. But anyways, that's this section of the garage. Everything on the back shelf, I didn't really do too much with it. There's like my spoon wheels back there, which shout out to Slimeball for the banner. There's I have a GSR LSD transmission back there. I have a K20 Z1 6-speed R6 transmission back here as well too. Right there, just kind of piled up intercooler pipings, more paintball gears and stuff in there. This is just like, again, one of those racks where it's like a storage rack. So I got like turbos, manifolds. These are all my vinyl wraps for when I wrap my car. Extra spray can, extra turbos, tarps. I got a bunch of like Victorex manifolds, exhaust stuff, brand new, oil pans, and you know, subs and stuff like that. Stuff I don't touch often sits over here. And you know, I didn't really touch too much up there as well too. Most of the stuff on this side of the wall stayed the same. My main goal was just this entire section. So going back to this area, you guys may have noticed that the red rack is gone, which is actually a collapsible rack. So if you guys look, I collapsed it because this rack originally wasn't supposed to be in the garage. This rack was actually on the side of the house. My mom brought home, and I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna use it since nobody wants to throw it away. So then it became another rack for just piling a bunch of crap on. So finally got rid of that. Now you can see the black rack is still here. This was actually back to back with the red one here before the big rack. And I was supposed to get rid of this as well too, right? But because there was so many things all over the floor, I just left the rack here to kind of stack on it for a little bit until I figure out the move with this, right? That's why I kind of keep it really, really light on the rack, right? These are just like AN fittings and turbo blankets and stuff, empty containers for like when I clean stuff. That right there is all my car cleaning materials like brushes and soaps and stuff. This is my everyday use tools. So my Milwaukee cordless grinder with the flap disc, my Milwaukee belt sander, DeWalt grinder, cutoff disc, hammer, and then down here is just miscellaneous. I got to ship this out. This is just tarps. That one's just a box of Restituno hardware, which I'm still using for the wagon, so I wanted to be accessible. Down there, a bin of just rags, and just 2 empty totes over there for like when I drain coolant and stuff. So very light on the rack because I still think that I'm going to be getting rid of the black rack because I really want to keep the banners exposed. So when I was talking about, like, you know, because I have some stuff that I kept here, that means some of the stuff that I wanted to buy couldn't come in because it's taking up the space for it. I originally wanted to get a Harbor Freight welding table, the $189 one. I missed all the sales. I don't know why, but I didn't pick up the welding table that I wanted. I wanted to move my welder and my tank out of the table here, my workbench, and put it on its own welding table, and I can just move it around. Why? Because if you guys have seen when I did the exhaust system, TIG welding the exhaust system, I literally had a fight trying to like fit it on my table, then running it on a table externally, and then running the battery jumper cables connected to my ground to extend it over here to weld the exhaust over here. So if I had just a dedicated welding table for TIG welding, then you know, it'll make it easier for when I fabricate stuff that are bigger than my table. So I wanted a welding table that was supposed to supposed to sit within this area, 3 by 2 feet on wheels. I can move it around, but I ended up leaving this rack here, and you know, I got to figure something out with that. But for right now, because I don't have no big welding job coming in soon, this rack is just temporary there, just to hold some of my daily items and stuff that needs to be installed into the car. Then this rack will be more empty. Then maybe then I'll buy a welding table. So aside from that, you guys see my Type R engine. You guys probably questioned about this so many times. This was actually buried back there with hella crap on top of it. So cleaning out the garage allowed me to bring it out, kind of clean it up, throw away all the crap that was on top of it, and now I have my Type R here exposed. And I really needed this out because I have a B series turbo stuff coming in soon, and I wanted the B series to be here so I can fabricate all the stuff while the engine is here instead of doing it on the car. Now, if you guys saw the last video, I did mention that an EM1 that was supposed to come in, and we were supposed to do some turbo stuff with it, but this is like the second or third time this guy's flaked on me, and I don't know if I'm gonna take in a job if he asks me again. The reason why I held off is because, you know, he told me he couldn't do it in December because holidays. I get that. And then he was supposed to come in 2 or 3 days ago, flaked on me again. And the reason why I wanted to do this job is because we're doing trade work, and the thing that he has, I really want. I don't need it, but I really want it. So he flaked on me, and regardless of the fact, I do have another B series car that I'm going to be doing a turbo kit on, so I need this engine out regardless. So it's nice to finally have it here, because I mean, who doesn't like to see a Type R motor just hanging around in their garage, right? Especially if it has only 1,100 miles on it. You know what I'm saying? All these axles down here, 2 of them my brother replaced on his blue wagon with a B20 VTEC. The other 2 back there are from his CRV that he changed out, and he didn't want me to throw it away. So I don't know what I'm going to do with it. It's just going to sit, not here, but I might end up moving it to the storage unit. They're actually still good axles. He just wanted new axles, and I might even be able to use these for a later, I don't know, later swap axles or something. But these axles are just sitting down there. I did have 3 engine stands. This one with the Type R. This one originally had the K series, and then I had another spare one which I kind of tucked away over there because it fits really nice and flush back here, right? So I got an engine stand right there, kind of just, you know, on standby. But I'm leaving this one out because I might have another engine going on the stand soon. Aside from these engine stands sitting here, though, you guys can obviously see the space, right? Aside from my trash can, which again, you can kind of just move around, my jack stands, and then I ended up moving the press onto this side because I wanted to move the shelf close to the door as possible and in line with the other one back there, but also having some space to run my 6-ton jack stands. So these guys are sitting up front. This press sat this way, which doesn't really block too much of the banner, right? And then I have the extra jack stands down there. Gas cans, I don't know where these came from. I only have my one big blue one, and then these 3 came out of nowhere, and they have gas in it. So for right now, they're just sitting there until I find a different location for it. I really want it out of the garage because you can kind of smell the gas a little bit. So I do want to move that eventually. You guys see that I have this wheel right here. I believe I mentioned in a different vlog that my buddy had picked up some tires for the wheels we gifted him. When he went to go mount the tires, he ended up having 3 4x100s and 1 5x114. So the company actually sent out another one. So now he has 4 on his car, and I ended up with the extra 5 lug, which I took a spare tire from the storage to mount on, and now I have a spare 5 lug for when I go on road trips. So that's an extra wheel for us. Now let's take you guys back here, right? The whole entire goal with having the extra rack right here, guys, was to make an aisle, a candy store for us adults, or for me for the most part, because this is my garage, right? So I don't really have a light back here because if I take this away, you can't really see anything. But you know, I might have to go buy some more of these, or even a light bar, because I can just put it up here and there's our lighting. Check it out, right? So this is a Gladiator rack. This one came from Home Depot. This is like a Husky, I believe, but so about the same dimensions. And we set this one up here where the original black one sat. And again, I wanted this aisle, which is also the reason why the weight station has shifted around so I can walk all the way through. Right now I can't because these wheels are on the floor. These wheels belong to the wagon, and we're about to be done with this car. So the wheels going to be back on the car soon, and then we'll have a clear shot going all the way to the back. Now I measured this 25 inches across, which is plenty for like moving wheels, for like rolling these engines out on the dolly. So the stuff on the right side is just like the rack back there, where it's just spare stuff. Like I still got to clean all of this, reassemble the rocker assembly cam holders back into this cylinder head, because this cylinder head, this is the entire interior for it, because I rebuilt this head and this interior came off of that block, which is the KRX spun K20 when I drove it on Sonoma. And I don't know what I'm gonna do as far as the block goes, but I want to put the head back together just to have it, you know, as a spare. And then this one right here came off the ES Sedan K20 block that we shot the rod through the motor. So this is a still good cylinder head, but I don't know what I'm gonna do with this. It's probably just gonna be one for a rebuild later down the road, but just sitting up there for right now. Over here again, just extra valve covers, big brake upgrades. The boxes back there are all my all-wheel drive stuff. This 2-row right here is all turbos, a bunch of turbos in here that I've accumulated over the years. Underneath here we have more K20 stuff, so I got to go through all of the aluminum stuff. Like I have 2 aluminum oil pans. I don't really use them, so do I need 2 or 3 of these? I got to go through all of it, clean it all up. I'm sure I'll make up more spaces when all this goes back in. I discard one of these. I got that one down there. There's like 12 freaking pistons in here, all type S pistons. You guys probably can't see it, but yeah, anyways, there's a B20 down there. There's a dart block right there, LS dart block, K20 block. There's a single cam sitting here, clutch. I got my TE37 sitting over here, brand new in the box. Up here, just a bunch of like extra stuff, a lot of stuff that you guys sent me. You know, shout out to the homie CRX dude. Some of you guys sent me a care package. It has like a bunch of, you know, brake master cylinders. These are brand new. Tyga gave me a bag of rags, suspension components, extra clutch lines, you know, feed lines, extra tools. There's a bunch of brand new stuff in here. These are all tow straps for like towing, you know, stud kit, hammer dolly kit, bunch of valve covers up there. There's a bunch of headlights up there. And you know, this rack is like, I don't touch it often, but there's a lot of useful stuff to me, and also a bunch of scattered stuff from like previous builds. So I do need to organize this still, because I didn't really touch too much on this end. But this side over here is more so my daily use stuff. Like I mentioned, trash bags for trash days. So when I take out the trash from the 55 drum, I got bags right there. This is my everyday use, you know, Bauer / Hercules bandsaw vertical saw. This is my aluminum bin for when I do charged pipes or any type of aluminum work. You know, I have the aluminum bin here, and then on the rack over there I got a bin for all the steels. Everyday use pressure washer, max P and rod generator, all my oil, all my coolant / like car soap and stuff, brake cleaner, stainless material. This is like all the 90 bends and wastegate tubings and stuff I need. These are power tools up there, and this is what I'm talking about, like hoarder, throw away to not throw away. Like I don't need these boxes. This is all the Milwaukee tools I just bought recently. Like these guys are all empty. Like I don't know why I still have them, but I guess it's just like a good sense of, I don't know, pat on the back, because I don't really buy stuff for myself, and these are like new stuff that I bought. So I don't know, every time I look at it I'm like, yeah, I bought that. So all the empty boxes up there, you know, my Prius EPS heater system for my propane, and extra tools and belt sanders. But you know, that's my everyday new stuff. You guys probably saw I got a bunch of wheels scattered all over the garage. You got the 949 for the wagon. You got the Auto X's that belongs to the KRX. I might have to switch these out soon, because the KRX has Federals and they're not good in the rain. Has been raining, so I'm gonna switch back to the Hancooks. These are the spare tires that came off the Slipstreams. These are the extra wheels for the ES Sedan. These are the ITR wheels. Radiator that came out of the wagon since we swapped it. Man, it's a lot. It was a lot in this last couple of days, man. And I've just been like, brain's been fighting about what to keep, what to keep up front, what to put away, what to take to the storage. But regardless, you know, we pushed through it, and what I had envisioned, we made it happen right here. My little aisle of car parts, you know. I don't know, if I had more racks, it might end up being like a store slash shop type deal. But anyways, coming back over here, if you guys look, like right here, dude, a lot of space, man. All the rack that used to be stacked back to back with everything in front of it, all of this used to be piled up, and I didn't really have too much walk space. But if you guys look at it now, there's a lot of walk space. So behind me, you guys saw that, you know, there's a bunch of stuff still out here, right? So I pulled this cart out because this actually sat in the aisle, and I think I mentioned it when one of you guys sent me this Gorilla cart. I really didn't want to assemble it, and I haven't assembled it in a while because I knew that if I assembled it, it's going to be fully assembled and it's always going to sit in the garage where it's going to take up a lot of space, and it does. So I ended up just keeping this cart in between the aisle, and I can pull it out obviously as long as I don't have a bunch of stuff on the floor. But right now, if you guys look, there's 3 bins in here, and I need to sort all of this stuff. All this stuff right here goes into the wagon, all the lights, the windshield wipers and stuff. These 2 bins are like spare parts that I need to go through to figure out, do I really need 3 of everything? You know, throw it away, sell it, whatever, give it away. I just need to go through these 2 bins right here, and then, you know, this cart would be so empty. This cart is everything that belongs to the sedan. So once the sedan build starts happening, a lot of this stuff is going to get cleared out of the garage. But for right now, we'll leave it there. It doesn't bother me. But man, I don't know, I felt like I've been talking up a whole ass storm, but I'm very happy with the way this came out. And like I mentioned, there's still a lot more to do because I do want that welding table. I do want a horizontal bandsaw. I do want a bigger like table sander, right? You guys saw the small one I had up there. I want the one that stands on its own. I want like a bigger vise because mine is little tiny, and I would have to drill it into my table every time just to use it. I want one of those bigger like Winton ones, but there's a lot of tools I still want to get. It's just got to clean the garage a little bit more to make room for them. But overall, I'm pretty happy with the way everything has turned out, because regardless of having those new tools, new tables, new equipment, I've been doing this. I've been doing it without it for the most part, and it's not going to stop me from still pushing forward and doing things here in the garage. So I think that's gonna be it for this video, guys. Literally took you along the garage renovation and explained everything piece by piece. I think I'm gonna spend like another day or so to clean the stuff out of the red cart, and also a bunch of stuff right here in front of my work area. But hopefully we'll get back onto the wagon here real soon, because I did get a couple of packages, so we can start buttoning up the entire front end, put the wheels back on, and get it back onto the floor, possibly the first drive after the rebuild. But we're gonna get cracking on the EF2 after that. I'm gonna wrap up the video right here, guys. I hope you enjoyed today's video of the garage renovation. If you guys did, be sure to leave a thumbs up. And if you guys want to stick around for some more work on the wagon, and I'm hoping to get down on the EF2 this week, because it's go time. If you guys want to stick around and see all that, be sure to hit the subscribe button. But with that being said, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.